There's nothing this city hasn't seen as far as drug smuggling. There's been over 200 tunnels discovered in this town of Nogales.
The cartels, it's like a cat and mouse situation.
Who has the upper hand? They do, unfortunately.
It may seem quiet and peaceful out here in the beautiful Southwest, but in the border town of Nogales, Arizona, dig below the surface and you'll find anything but calm. Much like my character Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad, real-life drug cartels are moving product in incredibly clever ways. How does one fight an enemy that will stop at nothing to get their drugs across the border?
Nogales, Arizona is a very tranquil border community. There is no buffer zone between ourselves and our neighbors in Mexico. Per capita, we have probably more law enforcement officers than any place in the United States. Nevertheless, this is a major port for drugs and people.
We're the first line of defense. Drugs come through Santa Cruz County and will end up anywhere in the United States. This is a never-ending issue for law enforcement along the border.
It's just like anything else, be it alcohol, prostitution, you name it. If somebody wants it, somebody's going to find a way to get it to the consumers. When I first got here, this was a quiet little town. It had a little smuggling. It ended up becoming one of the most notorious little towns along the border.
I think the cartels have the advantage. They're continuously evolving. We will find out a particular method, and they'll switch to something else.
We've had dead animals come across, and they'd cut them open and shove the drugs inside the cows.
We have had them in tamales and tacos.
Single-man little aircraft, like a lawnmower motor on the back. You can see a little guy up there, and you go, that guy's nuts riding in one of them.
Fake babies and carriages. I've even seen dope inside diapers.
It's Roadrunner Coyote. We shut it down, then they go to something else. If you build a 30-foot fence, somebody in Mexico is going to sell a 36-foot ladder.
The cartel's technology is 10 times better than the United States.
Nogales has become a smuggler's paradise. Mexican drug cartels have chosen this American town as the border crossing for their illegal goods.
The cartel will stake out an innocent party that crosses the border. They'll put the narcotics on a heavy-duty magnet, put it underneath the vehicle, unbeknownst to the driver. The cartel monitors the vehicle with a GPS, and wherever it stops, they go and pick up the contraband. The narcotics also goes underneath Nogales.
This is the infamous Grand Avenue wash.
This giant drainage system goes straight under the international border.
Ambale.
Do you want to hold my hand?
No, you good, baby?
Come on, I'll hold your hand. There's probably been hundreds of tons of dope come through this tunnel over the years.
This goes almost a mile south into Mexico. We still have graffiti from way back when. The difference now is we're not picking up bodies like we used to.
They use all these little interconnecting tunnels. Just takes a hacksaw to cut through the metal and they'd pop up in somebody's house.
I got it right here.
This was the Elks Club. The upstairs was a big bar. All the military, all the cops, including myself, come in here and drink, socialize. Nobody ever came to the basement, and drug traffickers put a tunnel in.
The dope was in the form of like a sausage.
They feed the rope through, and then one guy just pulls up all the bundles.
Far from being a paradise for border agents, U.S. law enforcement finds themselves outwitted, outspent, and outgunned.
Any
Anybody that is transporting drugs in Santa Cruz County, this is where their property is going to be ending up. In the season, we could have 60 to 100 vehicles in this lot. Hidden compartment was full of fentanyl, meth, and cocaine. We had to scissor in just like a can of tuna. If you could fit a fist in it, there's enough to put a package in it. 20 pounds of cocaine, 10 on this side and 10 on that side. Meth and coke, 10 pounds each. Packages of dope hidden inside the bumper itself. We're getting 1/10 of it if we're lucky.
We might catch a car that has a couple 100 pounds in it trying to go through the checkpoint, but at the same time, there might be a semi going north that might have 3,000 or 4,000 pounds on it. That's a U.S. Customs deal where they'll stop a train, they can x-ray it. Cameras and all the equipment in the world, it's just impossible to be in every spot at every time. I mean, look how vast that is. Nogales is maybe 1 square mile. And then you've got nothing but vast desert 30 or 40 miles. So it's a smuggler's playground out here. There's no way to stop it.
It's been 40, 50 years that this problem has been on the border. I don't think it's a war. If it was a war, there would have been an end to it.
As long as you have the consumers here in the United States, the cartels will find a way to get the drugs to their customers, one way or the other. And that wall is not going to solve the problem.
We thought we made a difference. In reality, 28 years, the amount of narcotics only went up about 1,000%, over from when we started. They will find a way if somebody wants to pay the price for that item.
For the men and women in law enforcement desperately trying to patrol the borders of Nogales, truth really does seem stranger than fiction. And as the demand in the U.S. seems to just keep growing, will it ever be possible to cut off the supply? Should we even keep trying?